Hello everyone, welcome to Sri Lankan Sports TV, and in this video we're going to look about the AFC Asia Cup qualifiers. What is AFC Asia Cup qualifiers? Why does team needs to qualify to AFC Asia Cup? So AFC Asia Cup is a men's tournament where in FIFA every confederation or almost every continent, some doesn't qualify as continent but have this confederation. So AFC is one of the confederation, Asian Football Confederation, and within the teams, so AFC has teams below it, and those teams really battling it out to be the champion of Asia. So the current ongoing AFC Asia Cup qualifiers is for the 18th edition, which is going to take place in 2023. Still, the venue not really finalized because it was supposed to happen in China, but due to the ongoing pandemic and also the visa issues and the issues of letting other countries into their country has really made China to not take this up. So still not confirmed. So this 18th edition in 2023 is going to happen probably somewhere. So which teams are going to qualify for this Asia Cup is what matters in this tournament. Up until 2015, only about 15 teams played in the AFC Cup. So then since 2019, 24 teams have now being selected to play in the AFC Asia Cup. So what happens now is just the qualifiers. So these teams now battling it out to put their names or just book their seats into this AFC Asia Cup final tournament, which is due to take place in next year. Focusing on the Asia Cup men's tournament, Japan has won it 4 times and also Saudi has won it 3 times. Sri Lanka has generally not really progressed deep into this tournament. So this qualifiers now, which is happening now, is almost a very hybrid tournament, I'd say, because the first 2 World Cup qualifiers acted as qualifiers for this Asia Cup qualifiers as well. So which means Sri Lanka played against Macau, and that acted as one of the path to this Asia Cup qualifiers as well. So for the next year, it all started way back with the FIFA qualifiers. So Sri Lanka really played against Macau in Macau, and then they scored 1-0. But in the reverse fixture, Macau refused to travel to Sri Lanka during 2019 due to the Easter bombings. They really didn't want to come to Sri Lanka, and then we had a walkover and we went to the next stage. In the next stage, again we had some sort of luck. In the second round, Sri Lanka was placed in a very tough group, I'd say. South Korea, Lebanon, Turkmenistan, North Korea, and South Korea, of course, a very strong side who almost qualifies to every World Cup. They had the likes of Heung-min Son, who plays for Tottenham. Yes, with the jersey as well. And also Lebanon, Turkmenistan, North Korea, all very good teams. So Sri Lanka really going into this tournament didn't really expect that much, not even 4th, probably would end up last. That's what lots of people thought. So Sri Lanka started off with a very, I'd say, defensive sort of football, especially with the matches against Macau, because there was a different coach. And towards the mid of this second round, there was a change of coaching staff, and Amir Alajic, who came in, he was a UEFA Pro licensed coach, and then Sri Lanka started attacking a bit. So that's when Sri Lanka's footballing style changed a bit, and then they even scored 2 goals against Lebanon in the fag end of the tournament. But for Sri Lanka, in a miraculous way, in a surprise, North Korea really pulled out of this tournament. So when they pulled out of this tournament, Sri Lanka was eventually promoted to the 4th place. So first 4 teams, the first team obviously going to World Cup, but the other 2, 3 and 4 teams going into the AFC Asia Cup qualifiers. That's how Sri Lanka got a place into the AFC Asia Cup qualifiers. But in the second round of World Cup qualifiers, Sri Lanka did really gave away so many goals. About 23 goals were scored against Sri Lanka, and goal difference of -21. Not really winning a single game because North Korea, of course, withdrawing. That's how Sri Lanka went in. But on a legal play or without the withdrawal, Sri Lanka never won a game. So this is something that Sri Lanka fans and also anyone around the Sri Lankan football have to see, because Sri Lanka's defense is something they always speak about, but we don't really go forward, and the attacking game is something that frustrates Sri Lanka fans a lot. So will this change in the recent or the now happening tournament? That's what the fans are also looking forward. So within all these second round matches, the one match that was very important for Sri Lanka was the match against Lebanon, because Sri Lanka scored 2 goals against them, as I told earlier. But these 2 goals really came from attacking football. Wasim Rasik scoring a couple of goals, and also to help Wasim Rasik there was Marvin Hamilton and also Dylan De Silva. All these youngsters and the players who have really good experience in Europe coming and giving their experience for the Sri Lanka team as well. So this match, Sri Lanka might really draw this match, would have drawn this match, but then they attacked the first 70 minutes, but the last 20 minutes they weren't really attacking enough. Many various reasons have been told. Some say that Sri Lanka didn't want to lose by a very big goal margin, but some say maybe they were a bit tired to really keep the attack going on. So these sort of reasons come in. But Sri Lanka was a very different side on that match. Because after that match, then Sri Lanka played South Korea, but they conceded 8 in the previous fixture. But in this fixture, they conceded 5, even though they conceded 5. But the plan and the attacking game was really up there for Sri Lanka. The way the Sri Lanka played was something that fans expected and welcomed. So this was almost a turning point in terms of Sri Lankan football and the way they played. And also the tournament after that was the Prime Minister Trophy. Sri Lanka did very well in that as well. They went all the way into finals and losing to Seychelles, that too in a very hard manner. But then Sri Lanka really put up some brilliant performance against Bangladesh, against Maldives, and also giving a good fight against Seychelles. So these matches was something, there was a very nice atmosphere on the horizon for Sri Lanka football, because everyone thought Sri Lanka started playing this attacking football, but then they went into the SAF championships where they didn't get the desired results they want. Now coming into AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, Sri Lanka have 3 matches, one against Uzbekistan, one against Thailand and Maldives. Now talking about Uzbekistan, for Sri Lanka's performance against Uzbekistan in the first match, some might say it's good, some might say no, that was not good at all, that was not acceptable at all. Because you can see Sri Lanka at one point were defending. It's okay if Sri Lanka can defend, but when you get the opportunity to go forward, you have to go. But most of the match, throughout the match, Uzbekistan really having much of a possession in that match. You can see 76% of possession on that match, in Sri Lanka only managing 24, and also 28 shots taken by Uzbekistan on the match. You can see just crosses coming left and right, and then they just put crosses into the box, trying to get that goal. Uzbekistan playing some attacking football. But Sri Lanka again had some instances to go forward, but they didn't. So this actually reflects in the number of shots Sri Lanka has taken. Sri Lanka has taken only 2 shots in the entire match, and that too probably from some set pieces. If we can compare this match and the match against Lebanon, where Sri Lanka played for a 3-2 defeat, almost similar kind of team, similar bandwidth, 80 to 90 ranked team in FIFA. And even in Lebanon match, Lebanon had more of the possession. So they had 74 and Sri Lanka had 26. But in that match, whenever Sri Lanka had the opportunity to go forward, they did go forward. They took 7 shots and they took about 2 goals out of 7 shots, and the conversion rate is also very good on that match. So now if we compare these 2 matches, something we can see is one thing, Sri Lanka not going forward, something to do with the tactics. The other is the players missing to go forward. Someone like Wasim Rasik, someone like Marvin Hamilton, these players are missing. The experienced guys aren't in Sri Lanka team now, and for various reasons. So these kind of tactics aren't going to help Sri Lanka in the long run. We may say that we have conceded few goals. We may say that Sri Lanka really put up a very good defensive performance, but this is not going to bring us points. So to really garner the fans around Sri Lanka, to rally the fans around Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan fans really need to see some sort of attacking football. So maybe in the future, Sri Lanka football might change these tactics, especially with the new coach coming in, Andy Morrison coming in, and he might help. This is what Sri Lanka fans believe. He might help Sri Lanka to go into a more attacking football. Sri Lanka in the second match put up a very good defensive performance against Thailand. Much improved Sri Lanka's side in terms of defense and also in terms of going forward. This time, Sri Lanka did commit a bit more men forward, and also Sri Lanka, the defense line and the shape was maintained. Thailand, a different team from Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan very physical, very strong, but Thailand a bit more tiki-taka kind of game where they pass and run, 1-2 passes and lobbed passes. These are what Thailand are really looking for, and Thailand did find it a bit hard in the first 20 to 30 minutes to find a goal, and once they found the path, they really utilized it to a very good extent. So that part was his lob pass, just putting the lob pass and trying to get to the ball. And Thailand did it very well. That's how the first goal came in. Then Sri Lanka really tried to attack in some instances, especially after the start of the second half. Sri Lanka went for attacks about the first 10-15 minutes, then Sri Lanka retreated back into a more defensive position. So Thailand finding it very hard to get their second goal. Eventually at the last moment, about 90 plus 4 minutes, I think 94th minute, Thailand getting the second goal. And Thailand winning that match, which means Sri Lanka would not qualify for the AFC Asia Cup. That's going to happen in next year, the 18th edition, 2023. So talking about Sri Lankan football now, there are a bit more shortcomings in terms of tactics. They aren't really going forward, and the shape, even though they are maintaining the shape, and also time wasting at times. As Sri Lankan fans, we love to see our team to win, but also not in a very unsportsmanship manner, because time wasting is okay as long as it is acceptable. But sometimes Sri Lankan players, once they get a knock once, they just get a hit from the other player or just put a dive, they immediately go to ground, stay about 5-6 minutes, and it also affects your tempo as well. When you're trying to attack, or when you're just having this good rhythm, and about 5-4 minutes going into injury time, then you get that sort of cut in your rhythm, and then you have to reorganize your rhythm once more. So this can be avoided in the future. And Sri Lanka fans, as a Sri Lanka fan, I need to see the Sri Lanka team attacking and going more forward. Defense is really good. They can maintain their defense line. They can play a defensive game, but when the opportunity arises to go forward, when the ball begs to go forward, that's when Sri Lanka really have to commit at least about 2 or 3 men forward to score that rare goal. Just one goal, getting that, trying to see Sri Lanka scoring goals itself will make Sri Lanka fans happy. So this is what the future lies, and this is what the fans expect. Let's see how Sri Lanka football just transforms into an even better organized squad in the future. So this, as a Sri Lanka fan, this is what we have to say. So let's meet in another video. We'll speak on another interesting subject, maybe cricket or football. Until then, subscribe Sri Lankan Sports TV. Let's meet in another video. Thank you and bye.